All right, for more movers, let's welcome in Diane King Hall, host of Morning Movers. The tables have turned once again, Diane. We're on opposite ends, and you're looking at Docusign higher after earnings today.
You're lucky I'm here right now off the bell right now, Sam, just to fill people in. We've got a couple celebrities who were part of the ringing the bell today, as I'm sure you let people know. I know there was fanfare about Hailey Bieber, but Alicia Keys is here.
I know.
So you are lucky I am present right now and not running around trying to get a new photo op. Anyway,
you're a celebrity yourself,
Okay, Docusign, that is being celebrated today off the back of its quarterly report card. Those shares moving higher. It did beat expectations on both the top and bottom line. Adjusted EPS coming in at 92 cents a share. That's, again, better than expected. Revenue topping 800 million. Also better than expected. The strong quarter coming. Investors watching to see if the company can move beyond just being an e-signature platform in terms of it moving more into contract and agreement management. And it's doing that, right? So let me go through a couple of the other metrics really quickly. Subscription revenue, that makes up the bulk of its business. That rose 9% to 784 million. So again, a big part of that more than 800 million number that we saw. Professional services revenue slipped, but that's a much smaller piece of the pie for Docusign. Billings, that's an important measure of just future business momentum for Docusign. That rose double digits to 818 million here. They ended the quarter with cash and short-term investments on hand, so it gives it that flexibility here. Management highlighted what they call, quote, outstanding quarter. They've been leaning heavily into AI. They've got this new tool called Agreement Preparation that automatically detects the types of contracts that are being drafted. It builds a template, and then it makes some suggestions about the required field. So the idea is that saves time and reduces mistakes. So that's one of their things that they're leaning into in terms of AI and what AI can do for the company in terms of increase in momentum there. They've got another feature called Custom Extractions. That's in their Docusign Navigator. That helps companies pull out specific information from large batches of data and large batches of contracts, right? Eliminating that, that manual review process. So they're trying to take the pain points out of the process when it comes to documents and contracts and whatnot. They've also got these pre-built workflow templates called Maestro. That's identity management integration. It expands that rather with their partners like Okta, like Microsoft, et cetera. So it makes it easier for those enterprise clients to manage users as well. The message here basically being that Docusign is not just leaning into AI, but really using it to become more full scale beyond that e-signature, which has been a key part of its business, obviously, but more about contract management. In terms of the forecast for the current quarter, they're expecting revenue to come in between 804 million and 808 million. So that would obviously be an increase over this most recent quarter. For the full year, they're guiding for as much as 3.2 billion in revenue, so that is slightly ahead of analyst forecasts. Analysts were forecasting a little bit more than 3.1 billion. So again, we are seeing shares move higher today, adding to the advance we've seen already, up more than 4% right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the street wants to hear. I mean, they want to be hearing about raising guidance. They want to be hearing about the use cases of AI. So you can understand the reaction. Just wondering, I'm seeing a number of price target boosts as well. Quite a shopping list here. Could you sort of run us through what the consensus is on the street?
I thought that's where you were going to go next. So JMP Securities, they're reiterating market outperform. So they're bullish on this one. They've got a $124 price target. They're maintaining that price target. But the street is mixed on their view overall. There are still some in the neutral camp. B of A maintaining neutral, but they are raising their price target to 102 for Docusign. Barrett is neutral on Docusign, but they're also raising their price target to $90. So there is some upside potential they see from here. Evercore ISI also in the sidelines camp. They're in line on Docusign. They're raising their price target as well to 92. So you can't ignore the move that they're having today, adding again to the advance that Docusign has seen year to date. So again, that move higher, up 4% higher. Year to date, they had been under pressure. Sorry, I was looking at another chart before. But so it reduces the pressure that it's had so far this year. But on a year-over-year basis, that's where they have been outperforming on a year-over-year basis, not a year-to-date basis. Just want to correct that one there.
Okay, good to note. And just hurrying along here, because we are pressed for time, obviously. ASML getting an upgrade here. I just do see that, some of the analysts have been talking talking about how it's at an inflection point. Why is that?
Yeah, so this is ASML getting an upgrade from UBS. This is that Dutch company, right? So they've upgraded to a buy. They've raised their price target. If we're talking in euros, they've raised it to 750 euros. They say they have confidence in ASML. They see better days ahead. They see potentially more than 10% upside for investors, they say, who are essentially patient enough to look past what they expect to actually be a tough 2026, and they see more potential after 2026. ASML, we know, is the company that builds the machines, that makes the chips, essentially, that EUV machines, extreme ultraviolet lithography machines. So that's like that high-tech printer that copies the patterns onto the silicon wafers. They eventually become the brains of our phones, cars, AI servers. So many cars have just more and more chips nowadays. Companies like TSMC, Taiwan Semi, Intel, Samsung, they can't make the semiconductors without an ASML. So UBS believes ASML will have a turning point. They believe that turning point is 2027.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting that the analysts are really looking through the macroeconomic and tariff-related uncertainties right now. And to your point, these companies need the equipment to make the chips, hence why China has been seen as behind the sort of eight ball here. I mean, as far as the US competition, because it has not managed to get its hands on ASML stuff. Just switching gears to Costco, we've got those August revenue numbers as well. What are you seeing there?
So sales are up and comps are up, so that's a good sign as well, right? And they're coming in more than better than expected for Costco, and the shares are responding positively off the back of this. So Costco shares up 1% off the back of what their August sales look like. Total sales up more than 6%, comps up 6.3% to be precise. U.S. and Canada, you saw strength there, growth of more than 6% across the board. Total net sales more than $21.5 billion for August. That's also an increase on a year-over-year basis, up more than 8% on a year-over-year basis. The company says the average transaction was up more than 2%. Where you saw the strength in terms of regions in the U.S., Midwest, Southeast, and Northwest. So interestingly enough, the Northeast doesn't stand out on this list. Fresh foods among the top performers, up by mid to single digits. Better performing departments, that's meat and produce. I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
Their produce is really good, Sam. I have to recommend their produce, actually.
Okay. I mean, but you're really across the retail space, and I'm just wondering, you know, when you tie it all together as far as what we've seen, you know, from the earnings as well, from some of the other names, what your sort of takeaways are from what we're hearing here.
So, well, I'll say Costco, we won't hear results from them until late in September in terms of their earnings, but you do get an indication of where things are going by their sales because they release these monthly sales figure. Costco, what I will note, it has been an underperformer year to date, and that I will admit that has surprised me. I thought it would perform more similar to Walmart. They have had some tariff risk, and they've talked about that, but they've talked about, you know, kind of shifting away and doing more of their store brands, which the Kirkland brand is good. That's their store brand. I mean, I've personally been happy with it. A lot of people seem to be happy with their store brand. So it's interesting to see that Costco hasn't had the same strength in terms of share performance that Walmart has had. And we'll hear more, obviously, later in the month from Costco.
Yeah, and you say that the produce is good. I know that everything comes sort of in bulk as well. I mean, there's sort of perpetual bulking cycle, so that really speaks my language.
It does. It does. The produce doesn't have to be that way. You can be, you know, you can figure that one out.
Great stuff. All right. Thanks, Diane.
You got it.